Zach Segal is the president of the Boston University College Republicans. We talked to him in September after Charlie Kirk was killed. Segal is now claiming on social media that he is the reason ICE showed up at an Alston car wash earlier this month and hauled off 9 employees. Segal posting on X, "I've been calling ICE for months on end. This week they finally responded to my request to detain these criminals. As someone who lives in the neighborhood, I've seen how American jobs are being given away to those with no right to be here. Pump up the numbers."
It's frankly appalling to see somebody that's proud of destroying an entire family, an entire community. These people, all 9 of them, no criminal records at all, yet he's referring to them as criminals.
Todd Pomerleau is the attorney who represents the 9 detainees, 5 women and 4 men. He says Segal, who was born in London and schooled in the UK, according to the BU Athletics website, certainly can exercise his First Amendment rights here in the U.S. But Pomerleau finds his arguments ironic.
He's talked about how these jobs are being taken by 9 people working at a car wash. Well, he's taking up a college student seat who's from America by his same rationale.
The 9 workers were detained on the morning of November 4th. Pomerleau says many of them do hold legal status and valid work permits that they were never given a chance to produce.
They were grabbed and thrown in a van, never given any opportunity to explain who they were, where they're from.
Zach Segal did not return our request for an interview or comment. The BU student is an intern for
BU has the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. If you haven't seen this kid, he called ICE on a bunch of car wash employees. Based on what, you ask? Because how would a random BU student know the legal status of car wash employees? He didn't, because most of them were here legally. They had work permits, but he hates people of color. But anyway, here's the funny part. He's not American. This boy is from England, and he is here on a student visa. At least the car wash employees were here on work visas. He's just here on a student visa. He's no more American than they are. And I personally think it would be really funny if BU took another closer look at that visa and maybe decided that he wasn't right for their school.
Imagine being an immigrant in America and calling ICE on other immigrants. A person from Boston University, who also happens to be the president of the College Republicans at his university, has been bragging about calling ICE, specifically workers from a car wash, which is just bizarre. And get this, he says, "As someone who lives in the neighborhood, I've seen how American jobs are being given away to those with no right to be here." Mind you, this man was born in the UK, so his very argument that immigrants are taking American jobs, well, that applies to him too. And he's also taking a spot at the university that could have easily been given to an American. The owner of that car wash hit back. At no point did this individual contact us, speak with management, or inquire about our employees or operations. Publicly labeling our workforce as criminals without any knowledge of who they are is reckless and distressing. So imagine that, a college student at an American university who's an immigrant in this country calling for others to be removed. Unfortunately, this doesn't surprise me.
Do you know why this British-born president of the Boston University Young Republicans Club is going viral? Watch this. But first, if you're new here and you'd like to talk about politics and culture, hit that follow button.
Zach Segal is the president of the Boston University College Republicans. We talked to him in September after Charlie Kirk was killed. Segal is now claiming on social media that he is the reason ICE showed up at an Alston car wash earlier this month and hauled off 9 employees. Segal posting on X, "I've been calling ICE for months on end. This week they finally responded to my request to detain these criminals. As someone who lives in the neighborhood, I've seen how American jobs are being given away to those with no right to be here. Pump up the number."
Zach is British. Now, why on earth do these people not have the right to work here, but he has the right to be here taking a spot from an American college student? Please make it make sense.
The 9 workers were detained on the morning of November 4th. Pomerleau says many of them do hold legal status and valid work permits that they were never given a chance to produce.
They were grabbed and thrown in a van, never given any opportunity to explain who they were, where they're from.
Zach Segal did not return our request for an interview or comment. The BU student is an intern for Republican candidate for governor Brian Shortsleeve, a strategist for the campaign, telling us tonight, we don't answer for anyone else's social media but our own.
And this is the same clown who was crying about Charlie Kirk. What a terrible and ridiculous way to go viral. 5 men and 4 women have now been separated for their families, and they are in Texas and Vermont. Let me know what you think about this crazy story in the comments down below.
So this guy right here is the one who called ICE on the Alston car wash in Massachusetts, which resulted in 9 people being detained and arrested. He said he was calling ICE for months because supposedly they were all criminals and stealing jobs from Americans. His name is Zach Segal. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And I think he's a junior. I want everyone to remember him because when things start changing, I want opportunities for him to also start changing. I want people to question if they even want to be around this guy. So remember his face. Zach Segal.
According to WCVB Channel 5 News Boston, Rolf here from The Sound of Music has been calling ICE for weeks on employees of a car wash. The president of the Boston University College Republicans was relieved when ICE finally responded because allegedly he was angry to see American jobs being taken by immigrants. According to the university's athletic page, he was born and raised in the United Kingdom. In other news, people from the United Kingdom living in the United States are immigrants. Oh yeah, if you play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. Pip pip!
You can see my arm.
Rafi Shoehead shows us the injuries he sustained, including a dislocated elbow, after his business was raided by federal immigration officials last week. Surveillance video shows as the 80-year-old car wash owner gets shoved to the ground by a mass agent. An unidentified officer pushes him back before throwing him to the ground as backup arrives.
They grabbed one of my guys and I told him, hold on, and 3 of them. They jumped on me and they were sitting on me.
Rafi says 5 of his employees were detained by ICE that Tuesday morning. He requested medical attention after being roughed up with a heart condition, but instead he was placed in handcuffs and taken to the Metropolitan Detention Center in downtown LA. The U.S. citizen was released hours later. That's when his family finally took him to the hospital.
Again, my dad, he's 80 years old and he has a heart condition, and he begged and pleaded, push down. He said, I have a heart condition. I'm an old man. I want the ambulance. And they completely denied him and ignored him.
Rafi's ribs were left busted. Both his arms have contusions and he's struggling to breathe.